Good morning, my friends, and welcome to my channel this morning. I'm so grateful that you're here with me. Today is March at 8:11 right now. I'm looking at my clock on my iPad, and today is April 12th, Thursday, April 12th at 8:11 a.m. and I have a wonderful connection with my numbers. 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. Numerology is an amazing thing because it is so in the moment when I recognize those that everything is just full of possibility and joy when I see those numbers, because I know that my angels are working with me. What I'm here this morning to talk about, what do I feel this morning, is that what I realize is that I am, and a lot of people may not agree with me because, especially if you follow me or if you know me, whatever this is, this whole kind of, this persona behind this person that is quite known. I would say that in the dance profession, I'm very well known. Like, I'm just known because I dance with like some of the best companies on the planet. And I know every choreographer. I've worked with almost every choreographer, I would say. And I was just, I think I could say, privileged to go through certain doors and feel I don't know, feel maybe at one point superior, which is a weird thing. Because of the places that I have been and as a dancer. But this morning, what I realized that I've come through in the last couple of years is that I used to, like, really, as I stepped out to create and work on my own and to create my own world, I felt like the underdog, and I think that's I'm gonna talk about that this morning and just let my view on how I feel about that, just because I know it can resonate, because a lot of us feel like maybe the underdog. And I'm realizing that the underdogs for me it is just another label, and all of these labels, you know, better, best, worst, worst, good, not good, all of these polarized opinions and preferences about people and things and work. And I'm in a very creative profession, and I always had the dream to choreograph and to create and work, and I was able to do those things, and I do those things today as I stand. But I think that about being the underdog, I can totally relate to that feeling of being an underdog, because I feel like that mostly. But I think the most beautiful thing is that I've embraced that, and I've embraced being an underdog and how I make decisions in my business. Because, you know, the only one that can tell me that I'm an underdog, and sometimes I can feel defensive about that, is and I know that a lot of people will not see me as an underdog because I am, you know, persistent, and I have many skills, and I work in so many different places, and places meaning professional dance companies, ballet companies, dance schools. I create a lot of work as a choreographer. I'm also a ballet teacher. And I teach, like I said, schools and classical ballet class in my way, and I teach workshops in choreography and improvisation and experimental workshops, working with like something like dance therapy, but I'm not a dance therapist. So I'm interested in the human spirit. I'm interested in the human spirit. And all of this, and my business calls for me to be to sell a product or something like that. And I think that after just being on my own and having to create my own path, like which I have done. And none of this is like as an underdog, but how do I feel? Like sometimes I feel, you know, like, and I'm being as honest as I can, because honesty is the best. Honesty is the best, seriously the best way to choose to live your life, and to be conscious of what motivates you to do certain things, and to be what motivates you to create your work, or to work for a company, or not because I have to, and what is my value in this profession, what is my value to me and to the ones I'm working with, and all of this. The response I get with the people that I work with is the major thing of why I live my life the way I live it, and choose to be. Now I'm coming back to the underdog because I've realized that I want to embrace fully. I will, and I do embrace fully the underdog, and the one that is more of a nerd, that doesn't follow the herd. And I really value that a lot, because I think that I've always felt that I was that. And in my own business and creating my own work, and my work is incredibly authentically real. There's no copy of anything in my work, and I feel often that I would say, you know, like I am so unique, and I follow that, and with unique being underdog, I do feel like that. And you know, however people perceive my work, or the opinions of that, or I feel sometimes, why do I feel like an underdog? I feel sometimes that I should be, that my work is really good, and that I should be in better places to create my work. I would say better. I was with elite dance companies, you know. I danced with William Forsythe's Ballet Frankfurt. I was ballet master with Netherlands Dance Theater, ballet master of the Royal Swedish Ballet. All of these houses, well, these houses that I went through, and then I guested with major companies, with Kohlberg Ballet. I taught Kohlberg Ballet when it was under the direction of Johann Inge. And I guess my contemporaries, the people that danced with me, who are much more successful, whatever success, or however you define success, I would define success as my person, as I grow. But as the external thing, I would say that I am very successful at what I do. And I don't need a label to determine my worth or anything like that. So that feeling of being an underdog is so valued, and anybody who's feeling less, only you can make yourself feel that way. And externally, people will always have opinions about things and want you to work, and sometimes I feel like I'm such an oddball that that I scare people, and even if they like the work, they may not actually say it out loud, or that I'm embarrassing them, or I make them feel uncomfortable, or I don't know, you know, these constructs that arise in my mind that are saying to me that I'm perhaps this underdog, is all so amazing to know it and to feel it, because my ego is so in check, and all I want to do is create my own world and continue to do that, and to work with the underdog. Now I work with amateurs, and I work with professionals. I work with elite ballet dancers. I mean, from the extreme. I'm not here tooting my horn, I guess. I'm just more or less like, you know, I work with so many different types of people and situations, and some of them I make decisions because my heart says to go that way, and that happens to be more in education. I don't like stiffness so much, and superiority, or like, you know, we're better, or we're this, or we're that. Like, it doesn't really float my boat. And I feel more and more gravitated towards the underdog, because I see myself in them, and nothing. I don't know. It's like, you know, maybe perhaps, like as I say right now, maybe perhaps, you know, to a lot of people I would be not an underdog. But I feel like that sometimes. But I'm saying it out loud because I guess maybe, I don't know if I've always felt like that, but if I feel that that is really powerful within myself, because I do my own thing. And when you do your own thing, it's like there's nothing to compare it to. And you know, people, or my conditioning all is like, people want to have things that they can label and judge, and it has to fit into some kind of box, and they have to be able to understand something. Well, that's not creativity for me, and creativity is like the air I breathe, and I need to do that. And I don't always feel secure when I'm doing new things, and but what I do feel secure in is that I feel secure with not feeling secure and being vulnerable. I feel secure with being vulnerable. If that makes any sense, it means contradictory in terms, I would say. But yeah, it's like, it's just really a beautiful thing to recognize that I feel and I am an underdog, and I make it all work. And I don't label any of that anymore. And when my mind arises and labels it this, I believe in my talent, and I believe in myself. I believe in how I run the ship in my world, in my journey. And you know, it's like, if there are parallel universes in my universe, it all is so beautiful. And all of it is so, I don't know, a gift, really. I'm really grateful for it, because I did it. Many years ago, when I first started dancing, I said to myself within the first week, I really would like to make some steps. I really would like to make some steps. And I was 15 years old, and I was in my backyard listening to the soundtrack of E.T., which is really, really interesting. Because, I don't know, I think it was one of my first, just with classical instruments or classical music, a soundtrack, and it was so incredibly magical. And I can remember that. I can see my backyard, and I can see my passion, and with just dance. And I've only been dancing for a week, but I guess I was always a dancer in my heart, and I wanted to create, and I'm here, and I did it. And I have so many beautiful opportunities that come to me, and sometimes I feel like I just want to say it out loud, that I feel like an underdog, and that I feel okay by being that, and that I actually embrace it more and more and more. Because I think that, you know, we need the underdogs, you know, because all of the best is just taking over everything, in the respect that, you know, it's like the most appealing, and the less, I don't know, the less you have to think about certain things. Anyway, that is what my talk is about. And I don't know, I'll read a few quotes before I let you go, because I like to do that. A quote: "We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them," by Shane Koigson. When emerging from humble beginnings, those around you tend to underestimate your authenticity, underestimate it, because they knew you before you were somebody. I think the worst thing in the world is to be somebody, because that's ego-based. And even the label of underdog, it depends on who you're talking to, I guess. But I would think that I would be an underdog, like I said. But it's a label, right? Labels are labels are labels. They're labels, and they disappear because they're illusory. They're just labels. And one doesn't need anything to validate their existence or their creativity, or they must continue to be them, and regardless if people get it or not get it. But I can tell you one thing, that the people and the human spirit behind anything that I do with anybody I come into contact is the magic that gets out there and is experienced, because the human spirit is a conscious decision. I make decisions because of the human spirit first and foremost, and that's a constant awareness. And a lot of underdogs are like that, because, yeah, but they're heroes at the same time. The very last quote I want to read, because I have to get going, is 7 years dawn, working with the Slayer, seeing my friends get more and more powerful. This is what I feel. A witch, a demon, hell, I could fit in Oz in my shaving kit, but come a full moon, he had a wolfy mojo not to be messed with. Powerful, all of them. And I'm the guy who fixes the windows. They'll never know how tough it is, Donnie, to be the one who isn't chosen, to live so near the spotlight and never step in it. I feel like that sometimes. I'm so near the spotlight, but I never step in it. But I know I see more than anybody realizes because nobody watches me. I feel like that. I saw you last night and I see you working here today. You're not special, you're extraordinary. So here's to the underdog, and keep on keeping on, keep on creating. And you know, if you ever feel like the underdog, you're not alone, because and it's beautiful to be the underdog. I'm an underdog. I am a royal underdog. Whatever that means. A play in words, labels, and judgments. But it's all good. It's all fun and games, and that's what I feel. Thank you so much for watching me this morning, and I love you, and have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy your Thursday. Bye, everyone. Bye.